our lives, there are a few people who impact us so deeply, so thoroughly, that we cannot help but be transformed. Today's Notes to Self episode is a tribute to one such individual that I have the privilege of knowing. Welcome to Notes to Self, a small talk segment where individuals have a chance to amplify their voices, share their thoughts, and make a difference. I'm Subha, and today I'm dedicating this episode to Squadron Leader Gopinathan Nair, and you'll soon find out why. Air Force veteran, entrepreneur, father, husband, friend, and my father in law. At the grand old age of 84, I dare say he was younger at heart than most adults I know. So, what have I learned from his life and example? Many, many things. Most important of them all, how to be a lifelong learner. As a coach and when working with leaders in organizations, we often hear and use terms like learning organization, growth mindset, and so on. My father in law has shown me and everyone around him that impact at a systemic level always begins with the vivacious spirit of one individual. A few weeks ago, I spotted him asking his grandchildren how to navigate Instagram. He truly wanted to experience it and understand why the kids loved it. I distinctly remember the day a few years ago when he asked me if he should have a LinkedIn profile too. I don't think he was happy with my answer. I wish I'd created a profile for him. In his mind, nothing was too late to venture into or too old to experiment with. As he neared his 70s, he took charge of babysitting his first grandchild. Not a few hours over the weekend, but every day for 5 days of the week. By 8 a.m., he would be dressed and ready for duty. He figured out diapers and Cerelac and baby books and toys for the next 6 to 7 hours joyfully. The idea that we struggled to read different languages of our own people irked him. He created a whole new script, Indo-Roman Lipi, to make it easy to read the vernacular. And every visitor to the home would receive a sales pitch asking them to adopt Indo-Roman Lipi. And he had a few converts too, I'm sure. But it wasn't actually about making the sale. It was about the process of figuring out how to design the script and, more importantly, how to bring it to the world using the standard keyboard and the few notations it offered. When he welcomed me as his daughter in law, he also welcomed all my habits, traditions, family nuances, and visited my ancestral village with the gleaming eyes of a youngster. When I started Raincraft a little over 5 years ago, it is safe to say that I probably knew 10% of what I know now in terms of running a business. What has kept me and even the entire team going is the inclination to learn. We didn't always know what social media marketing was or how to use the 10,000 email marketing tools out there or even how to churn out an invoice. Now we can tackle our own GST filings. And when I talk about learning, I want to emphasize on inclination, not ability. We humans are a curious bunch. Just look at any child. But we tend to put this curiosity away as we grow up and instead focus on what must be done. Building the inclination to learn will feel new, almost like a forced habit in the beginning, but it won't take long before it feels familiar. Just ask my father-in-law. He has been reading and responding to every Raincraft newsletter for the past several years, which means he has figured out the various tabs of his email inbox, found a way to listen to our podcasts, and even made sure he followed us on social media so that he could leave a kind word. All beyond 80. WhatsApp, Zoom, Skype, everything was a world of wonder for him. Always a question here, a doubt there, always that glint of curiosity in his eyes. Today, we have lost him to COVID, the very disease that he hoped might reveal a miracle cure for his existing lung disease. And the cruel twist of fate is hard for me to process. However, I know that he is the kind of person who would like to be remembered by and celebrated for the life he lived. And so I hope that this Notes to Self serves as a reminder to me, to everyone listening today, tomorrow, in a future without COVID at all. Curiosity is the beginning of magic. We have a vaccine because someone was curious. We have world maps, cuisines, books, music, smartphones, all because someone somewhere tried something new. So, in honor of this person who has shaped me for the last 20 years and hopefully impacted you through this episode, what are you going to be curious about today? And bye, Daddy.